our field office in Pittsburgh, working feverishly to attempt to identify the individual who did this and any motives behind why this was done. Right now, we need the public's help. Anyone who was on scene, who saw anything, who identified any information, please report that to the FBI using either the phone number 1-800-CALL-FBI or online at fbi.gov. This evening we had what we're calling an assassination attempt against our former president, Donald Trump. It's still an active crime scene. As I mentioned, we have a number of agents on scene. We also are working closely with other federal agencies, our state partners, and our local police partners as well. Again, at this time, we are not prepared to identify who the shooter is. We are close to that identification, and as soon as we are 100% confident in who that individual is, we will share it with the press. With that being said, also, we do not currently have an identified motive, although our investigators are working tirelessly to attempt to identify what that motive was. At this time, I'm going to turn over the podium to Colonel Chris Paris from the Pennsylvania State Police.
Thank you very much. My name is Colonel Chris Paris, P-A-R-I-S, Commissioner of Pennsylvania State Police. I would just like to say that the State Police have been in regular contact with the Governor's office, and the full support and assets of the entire agency are behind the FBI and our other federal and municipal partners to assist with this investigation. The thoughts and prayers of the Pennsylvania State Police are likewise with the victims of this terrible act. We are prepared to support this investigation in any way, shape, or form, and we stand ready to participate in a full, fair, and competent and thorough investigation. To give you an operational rundown, Deputy Commissioner of Operations, Lieutenant Colonel George Bivens, is behind me, and he will discuss the operational portion that's being conducted by the Pennsylvania State Police. Lieutenant Colonel Bivens.
Good evening. So let me describe for you a little bit about the scene that we have over there. As you know, there was a grandstand, a very large area, a lot of people there when this all unfolded. The former president had come out and begun to speak shortly after 6 o'clock this evening, and within about 10 to 15 minutes, a number of sounds were heard, and it became apparent that shots were being fired in that direction. It was a chaotic scene. Law enforcement, I believe, acted heroically, quickly identifying and neutralizing the threat, as well as responding to assist the various victims. PSP had a significant presence on the scene along with all of our federal partners at the time of the shooting. We have since enhanced that presence significantly, bringing in resources from all over the Commonwealth to ensure that we have a speedy, thorough investigation. We are working very closely with the FBI as we work through this. As you can imagine, because of the variety of crimes that have been committed, some are under federal jurisdiction, some are under state jurisdiction. And so, we're working through all of that, not an issue at all. We work seamlessly, but the FBI has maintained the lead on the attempted assassination. PSP will take the lead on the homicide and the shootings of the other individuals in the grandstand area. And so there are a lot of witnesses to be interviewed, a lot of things to be processed. There were some complicators that hopefully the next time we speak we can describe for you, but some complicators that slowed down some of the processing and the positive identification of the shooter. But know that at this time we have no reason to believe that there is any other existing threat out there. We are doing everything we can to make sure that this is thoroughly investigated, and that if there is any information developed that anyone else was involved, that between PSP and the FBI, that will very quickly be followed up on. So I think at this time, we would open it up to questions from all of you.
Was this a lone wolf attack?
Again, I think it's too early to say that. We have one shooter tentatively identified, but we're not stopping there. We're following up on a lot of information. It will be some time until we can conclusively say or answer that question, I think. Again, that'll all be part of the investigation, but that will all be part of the investigation. But I can tell you that preliminarily, it appears everything unfolded very quickly. So, again, we'll have more information on that, but it's just too early to start definitively saying this happened at this exact time.
Yeah.
That's correct. We'll have that information for you. It was some distance outside of the security room.
Can you comment on reports that there were people who saw someone on the roof and tried to alert authorities?
We're following up on those. I will tell you that I am aware of those, and I am aware that law enforcement had responded to a number of reports of suspicious activity. The specific response to this will be all part of the after action, but yes, law enforcement was responding to check on several suspicious occurrences.
What were the other suspicious occurrences?
That'll all be part of the investigation.
So you said that you're close to identifying the shooter. Could you at least confirm that he is from Butler County, Pennsylvania? Is there anything else? Did he have any affiliation with that company, do you know?
So again, we're not prepared at this time to provide the identity of the potential shooter. We're in the process of doing the confirmation, and once we have the confirmation, we'll release the name officially to the press. But at this time, we can't give any further information on the potential shooter. No, it's a matter of doing biometric confirmations. So there was no identification on the individual, as an example. We're looking at photographs right now, and we're trying to run his DNA and get biometric confirmation on.
Would you be able to comment on just what police found left behind? Any possible devices? Did you find any extra guns? Just anything else you can willing to comment?
Not at this time. No, we're still in the process of an active investigation. So we'd like to reserve releasing any information like that until we have more facts.
Is there any heightened threat level, critical threat level you guys were aware of more so than what is typical for an event like this?
From the FBI's perspective, no. We did not have any specific threat information related to this event.
Can I ask, you talked about how it happened so quickly, and we know that there is at least 2 casualties, including the gunman at this point, that we're aware of. It could have been a lot worse.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
Comment more about that and how it was taken care of so quickly.
So I think the credit goes to not only the Secret Service who was on site, but also the state and local partners who were there on site and were able to react immediately when the incident occurred.
Do you know how many officers fired their weapons?
I do not.
I understand that it's very early, there's still going to be a lot of questions, but I mean, is this a failure of security?
Really, at this point, we're not going to make that assessment. There's an active investigation. A lot of things need to occur investigatively to make those determinations of what, if any, failures there were. So we can't comment on that at this time.
You can say if Secret Service had checked those buildings, or we're keeping a close eye, or
Really have to defer to Secret Service for those questions.
At the AGR property prior to the event, were there police at that location at any point of the event?
Are you saying the location where the shooter was located?
Yes.
I don't have any information on that. We'd have to defer to Secret Service.
when do you think you will release? When will the name of the shooter be released? I mean, any inkling of when that might happen, tomorrow, or?
So that'll be as soon as we've confirmed 100%, we're willing to release that. So if we have, as far as the contact information for the press, we should be able to do that within the next few hours, I imagine.
The
I'm sorry. So there was a vehicle being checked not far from here. We've also heard of a possible related scene in Bethel Park. Is there anything you can tell us tonight about other areas where law enforcement may be searching in relation to this?
Again, right now we're tracking down all leads and doing all interviews and tracking anything that we can regarding suspicious locations, vehicles, locations, interviewing individuals. So it's all related to this event, but I can't confirm or deny anything that's going on beyond that.
Can you tell us about the weapon that the shooter used?
As far as the details of the weapon,
Yeah, what kind of rifle was that?
do you want to come on that?
What is he used?
Until it's confirmed, I would come back.
Okay, yeah, until we have the confirmation of who the shooter is, and we'll release that as part of the investigative details later.
You said that you guys are putting extra resources, and one of the things that you said was bomb technicians. So is this standard procedure, or do you have reason to believe that there are bombs somewhere in Butler County? Can you just walk us through that?
It's primarily standard procedure of any suspicious packages. In this case, there was identification of suspicious packages around where the shooter was. And so we deployed, in an abundance of caution, bomb assets to make sure that those were cleared for investigators to move safely in the area. We're still working on, it's still an active crime scene. So I'm not going to say that the scene is 100% clear at this time.
Why are there any Secret Service agents here right now for this press conference?
So Secret Service wasn't available for the press conference at this time.
I understand that everybody's
Packages that you're talking about, you're talking about packages, but the suspicious packages are the ones that you're here to share.
Really anything. I don't have specifics on what they were looking at, but you know, there's people in the crowd will leave bags as they're fleeing the scene like this. So any suspicious packages we have to treat as it may be an explosive device.
And how quickly, this was an Secret Service, we're not going to talk about it, yes, but when you guys jumped into action, all the law enforcement and were able to take down the shooters, how quickly did everybody jump in and who ended up taking them out?
So it was immediate, and we're still trying to figure that out. So we'll wait till we have more definitive information regarding that investigatively.
What about the person in the crowd? Do you have any information about how they were killed?
My understanding was it was from the shooter. But again, those will be details that are released later.
Do you search homes or apartments as a part of your method of identifying the individual?
So if that's where the leads take us, absolutely.
Was Donald Trump hit with a bullet, do you know for sure, or was it potentially something else that could have?
I don't have that specific information as far as the injuries to the former president.
I understand you're not releasing the suspect's identification right now, but as you know, is this person known to you guys? Is he somebody that you guys have been looking at through the threats he's possibly made online, et cetera, et cetera?
Again, the information that we currently have, we're looking at that obviously very intently. And as we know that information, we'll release that as well. So we'll need to plan another time for a follow-up press conference. We're looking at all investigative leads and all everything from, and that's why we asked the public, because I'm sure there'll be cell phone video, there'll be all kinds of information that we'll use to fully flesh out exactly what happened here.
I know you're saying you can't say what type of gun it is, but do you know how many shots were fired?
I don't.
And
I don't have that information as far as that. That'll come out in the investigation as well.
Is there identification tonight on the other victims?
As far as the civilians, the
civilians that were injured and killed.
yeah.
So we do have identification on those. We're not prepared to release it at this time. We have notified a number of family members, but they have not had an opportunity to notify extended family and things. I would confirm for you that we did have one individual killed, and I know I heard somebody say about 2 victims. There were 3 in total besides the former president. So 2 critically wounded, 1 killed.
At this point, you know, they were sitting near each other and where in relation to the former president were they?
I don't have their exact seating by individual. Again, that'll all be part of the investigation, but their shots were scattered somewhat, and so they weren't just into one particular location.
You're saying just one fatality as of right now?
Yes,
The shooter and one fatality.
the shooter plus 1 fatality.
Okay.
So there was 1 victim of the shooter who was killed, and then the shooter was killed.
And then 2 in critical.
Yes, ma'am.
Witnesses, say they saw a semi-automatic rifle used by the shooter. Can you share any details of this? That's what
I've heard those reports as well, and again, we do have a good idea of what the weapon was, but again, that's all part of the ongoing investigation. And I'm not trying to be cagey about that. When the SAC talked about the need to be very methodical and to be cautious with that scene, we are doing just that. We don't want anybody else getting hurt. And candidly, there are some concerns that we'll be able to talk more about later on about just what those concerns are and continue to be.
After the talk to the shooter's family yet?
That's all part of the investigation.
After the event, there were a lot of really angry people. Are you monitoring? Have there been any threats in response to this? Are you worried? Have there been any specific threats?
That's certainly a concern, and we're monitoring that whole situation. I mentioned that we're bringing a lot of assets to bear, and so like the FBI utilizing their analysts, we also have the Pennsylvania Criminal Intelligence Center. We will utilize the resources of our intelligence division and the Criminal Intelligence Center to be able to monitor for concerns about any threats, regardless of the side of the issue or the political spectrum. We want to make sure that we try and avoid any further violence.
But no, nothing specific so far.
No, sir.
Without identifying them by name, can you say anything about the other folks who were injured or killed? Were they adults, men, male, female, anything else?
They were adults, and they're male.
All three.
Yes.
How difficult it is for your department to know where all your departments are going to talk to these family members, including the civilians who were run down while they went to a rally, trying to celebrate, I guess, the upcoming election? What are those conversations like, and how do you kind of get through that?
We have trained investigators, and we're partnered hand in hand with the FBI, again, because we've got some federal violations, some state violations. And so our investigators are going out and methodically. We have a large team of investigators that are going out, dividing up these interviews and trying to conduct them as quickly as possible. And then there will be follow-ups. With the FBI asking for people to call in tips, I have no doubt that we will receive a lot of additional information that will also require follow-up. But again, we're working very well together, and it's only a short matter of time until we get through all of those interviews.
How close and cold was it for President Trump?
There were no police hit with bullets.
From your experience, how close and cold was it for?
I'm not going to speculate or comment on that.
Have any of you talked to the president? Did any of you have any kind of reaction?
No.
Which law enforcement agencies were tasked with securing this particular rally outside of the United States Secret Service?
Well, Secret Service always has the lead on securing something like this, but then they work very closely. And I hate to use the word routine, but it is a fairly routine matter for all of our agencies to work jointly with the Secret Service. And it really depends on the venue, on what information is out there, what number of resources are devoted to it. And we work with them to provide whatever is requested by the Secret Service, but they're the lead in that security.
Was there anything about this venue that made it particularly difficult to secure?
I would defer to the Secret Service to answer that. They would have done the initial assessment.
Was the rooftop part of what was being secured? Was the rooftop, given its proximity to the event, part of that process?
It's my understanding that was outside of the perimeter.
Did this shooter have any previous criminal history?
We're not going to comment on anything about the shooter right now.
The agency denied Trump's team extra security, any of the agencies that are out there?
Not that I'm aware of.
If Trump had been the nominee already, would he have had additional security for this event?
There again, Secret Service has the lead, and I'm not going to comment or speculate on what may or may not be provided at any given point, depending on their status as a candidate. What I will tell you is that in my experience, the Secret Service does an excellent job of maintaining security on protectees. They're very cautious. They don't hesitate to ask for resources, and candidly, we don't hesitate to supply those resources.
You're asking for the public's help. Can you elaborate and be more specific about what you really like to see from the public at this videos, photos, personal accounts?
I think the videos and photos would be very helpful. And I think that once the shooter is identified, anyone that has specific information on that shooter, that would be very helpful as well to help us assess motive. And again, as I mentioned earlier, we are absolutely not taking for granted that this was a lone wolf attack. And so we would be looking for any additional information that might point us toward anybody else that may have had a hand in this.
Sir, at this point, what is the main focus of the investigation? What's the most important thing for you right now, a few hours?
Well, there's not any one single focus. I mean, certainly the immediate focus was life safety, getting the former president out of there and to care, getting care to the other victims and trying to secure the scene as quickly as possible. It shifted then from a life safety priority to then an investigative priority. And so I guess if I had to point to where we are right now, the single greatest priority would be to identifying a motive and whether there was anyone else involved.
We're just beginning the political season. Are you guys concerned with all of these rallies that happen and how they're set up? Is this gonna change maybe the venues?
Again, I would refer you to the Secret Service in terms of what they work out with the campaigns. We will continue to supply resources, as I'm sure the FBI will, and local partners as well.
When this was announced, it was, it was quite a few days in a heads up that people were getting ready for this truck rally. From a law enforcement perspective, when you announced that they did that like this, all that time in advance that leaked out, does it give people more time to plan something like this?
Well, I suppose, but there's a balance. I would think that any of the campaigns on either side try to weigh. I mean, the point of them announcing it, I suspect, is because they want the crowd. And so it's not up to us in law enforcement to tell them when they should announce or how they should announce or how they should conduct it. We offer our best advice. Again, working hand in hand with the Secret Service, offer our best advice of how best to secure and protect that venue.
Sir, considering how many people were there, and you have packed in there and you have somebody at an elevated position with potentially a high-powered rifle, how lucky is it that we were only talking about a couple of victims, as sad and tragic as that is?
Well, we're certainly grateful that we don't have even more victims. And again, in terms of how this could have occurred, that will be part of this after action report and an investigation that occurs so that we can hopefully ensure that something like this doesn't happen again.
Has an autopsy been conducted yet, or is it scheduled?
It has not been conducted yet.
Asking on how many people were at the rally.
I do not.
If somebody has some videos or photos, where should they send it?
So we have the 1-800 call FBI if you have audio tips, and then we set up a specific tip line for audio and video, and that's fbi.gov/Butler.
And they should send you just like any video?
Anything that anyone has that is related to this incident that they think may be of assistance investigatively, we'll take anything and we'll analyze it and we'll make the determination if it's of investigative value. Go ahead.
So from what you've been briefed on, it sounds like law enforcement only knew he was up there until shots were fired. Is that what you're hearing?
So that is the assessment at this time.
So are you surprised that a sniper was able to fire off a handful of shots at the former president? I mean,
Again, we're still working through the security apparatus that the Secret Service had in place, what potentially happened. There's going to be a long investigation into exactly what took place and how the individual was able to get access to the location, what type of weapon he had. All that is really days, weeks, and months of investigation.
he was able to get off like 4 or 5 shots.
It is surprising, but again, to get all the details of that will come out later in investigation.
Going back to the perimeter of this building, I think it's really difficult for people to understand that this building, a very high vantage point, some 100 meters away from where this is happening, isn't part of that perimeter. What goes into that conversation over what is in and out and why wouldn't that be?
Again, the Secret Service really needs to answer that question. They conduct the initial site survey. They do the initial security assessments and determine where the different security locations should be. And they're the ones who are in charge of securing the scene. We, along with other state and local assets, are there to support the Secret Service and their mission.
How many troopers and agents were at the rally, obviously before the shooting, and how is that number determined? And should perhaps there have been more?
So I don't have the specific numbers. I doubt you do as well.
No, I can speak just for PSP. We had physically on site there, probably 30 to 40 members of PSP, but we also have additional resources in the area. We utilize aviation, for example, and a variety of other resources, dogs to sweep beforehand that really aren't counted in that. And again, the number is driven by what the request is from the Secret Service. You know, just in their defense, I mean, what I would want to say is it is incredibly difficult to have a venue open to the public and to secure that against any possible threat, against a very determined attacker. That's a huge lift to try and do it. And, you know, again, the investigation will really give us an opportunity to take a look at where any failures occurred and what can be done better in the future.
Lieutenant Colonel Bivens, do you know when another briefing might be held?
We don't have one scheduled, but I would tell you we will let you know and give you plenty of notice. Certainly, as soon as additional things develop that would be noteworthy or of interest to you, we'll get that scheduled and have another with you.
Locally, what can residents, businesses expect to happen with the investigation over the next couple of days? Like, what's going to be going on there?
Well, again, the interviews will all be occurring, and so they may see law enforcement in their communities. People came from a wide area to come to this rally, I'm told. So, you know, there's going to be law enforcement fanning out, and as additional calls, photos, videos come in, you know, those additional interviews will result in law enforcement being out in the community conducting those interviews. But otherwise, they really shouldn't see any other significant impact in the community.
Confirm whether it's a male or female, the homicide, the bystander who died?
It's a male.
A male?
Yes.
Now, I'm from a European outlet from Holland, and I'm already getting text messages from, you know, back home, and people are asking, how could this happen? What's going on in America? I know that it's a philosophical question, but how could you talk to the people outside the United States about what happened here in Dublin?
Well, again, what I would say is a tragic incident that occurred. We're not in a position to start second guessing how or why or anything else at this point. Just know that it will be thoroughly investigated. If there is anyone to prosecute, that will be done, and we'll move forward. But I don't have a good answer for you.
We'll just take one last question.
I know that PSP said that you guys were not aware of any additional requests from the Trump team for security. What about the FBI? Was there an additional request for additional security from the Trump team, and was that denied in any way, shape, or form?
No, there was no additional request for security that was ever denied by the FBI.
What does the FBI do in these events? Like, what is your role?
So we showed up after the fact. We were monitoring the event, but it was once the incident occurred that we come and we take the primary jurisdiction for the investigation. Thank you. We'll
Okay, so we just heard the press conference.
All right. The press conference almost felt like a complete waste of time because we learned absolutely nothing. But let me switch over here because I want to check TMZ. Let me say hi to everybody. I know that I started immediately with the press conference. So let me say what's up, everyone. Welcome new members. What's up, Kate? I went to a party tonight and I literally got there. And this is like a house full of Trump people. I mean, they all just got shirts like, you know, go Trump 2024. These are diehard Alabama Republicans. Stop, get down. What? Oh my God. Karma is jumping on me. She wants a hug. What? And these are like diehard Alabama Republicans. So I said, you guys know Trump just got shot. They were like, no way. And I said, yeah. So we were watching it. And I was like, I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, oh my God, this is like real life. This is crazy. Not that I didn't expect it, because I think we all thought Trump was going to get shot. I'm almost blown away that whoever decided to do this was that bad of a shooter. And I hate to say it like that, because I'm glad Trump didn't get assassinated. But if you're going to shoot at a president, you better be damn sure that you're a good shot. To fire like 9 shots over and over and over and not hit the president, you had his head right there and you couldn't get a good enough shot in, is wild. Like, that's just fucked up. It really is. But I'm glad it didn't happen. But just whoa. I personally, and this is all right, Alma, I'm done. This is not about you. We're having a serious conversation. Now I'm just done. So have a good night. And just to have someone do that, somebody else ended up dead. And the fact that they only grazed his ear is wild, like absolutely wild. In a good way, but it's still wild. And it's sad. And it's sad that that's what this country has come to. And what if he would have been killed? Like, why was somebody aiming to kill him? Because Joe Biden is such a great fucking president? Like, why? I just don't understand that. Why? It's crazy. It is scary. And to know, I'm going to check out some of the other videos because, like I said, I wasn't home. But an innocent bystander died. It was definitely Trump's lucky day. That's for sure. And how I felt the Secret Service acted extremely slow. If you watch the video, it seems that they just, I don't know, I felt like they reacted in slow time. And I don't understand why. Like, they should have been on top of the president within like an eighth of a second. And it seemed like Trump reacted by going down and then they jumped on Trump. Thank you, Denise. And then they jumped on Trump. So it just blows my mind that, like, I don't know, just watching it was like, whoa, just whoa. So welcome, Janessa. Janessa, you got a membership. Janessa, Kate, Florida Moon. Florida Mom, not Florida Moon, sorry. Florida Mom. And that's all I see right now. So thank you, Denise. It was like in slow motion. It was wild. And I kept watching it over and over and over. I'm like, okay, this is weird. All right, I want to see this TMZ video that they were talking about. All right. And I want to know, how did they get the shooter this fast? Hang on. Okay, this is kind of weird. Watch this video. Okay. Why were they up there to begin with?
And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened. Months old. And if you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
So I don't understand. They were, yeah, but the shooter came from another direction, not from that way. Hey, Deb. The shooter had to come. If you look at where he was standing, they're in the wrong direction. So I don't really understand that. Shooter was on another roof. Snipers always planted a public right. Yes, but I'm saying that there's no one facing the other direction. Oh my God, dogs. Stop. There's no one facing the other direction. Yeah, but even the snipers were taken back, is what I'm saying. If you watch the video, even they were taken back. Like, they didn't understand. Watch it again. You'll see what I mean.
Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
There's nobody facing, or you can't see the cursor. Like, you look at the guy in the black hat all the way to the left. That's where, if you look at where Trump is standing, that's the direction it was coming in. And the snipers are only facing the other way. They're not facing by the back of the trees. Hold on. Let me do it this way so you guys can see my cursor. Hold on. All right. Like, they're facing this way, but there's nobody facing this way. If you look at where Trump is standing, it would have come from this way. And they're only facing that way and not this way.
Months old, and if you want to really see something that said, take a look.
Is that the shooter? No.
What happened?
Yeah, Allie, I was going to play that one next. Is it this one?
Seven minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, but we noticed the guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle. We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? Like they didn't know what was going on. We're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. He's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for 2-3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes.
He was up there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling the police and the Secret Service.
We were telling the police. We were pointing at them for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here? I mean, this is not a big place.
Did you see, I mean, obviously everyone, when the shooting started, everyone was very panicked. Did you see what happened to him at all?
Oh yeah, they blew his head off.
Okay, sorry.
Secret Service blew his head off.
Okay, we just be careful because we don't quite know who's watching, but you're pretty sure they shot the guy?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
Yep.
You saw that happen?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And did you see them go up to him afterwards, or?
They crawled up on the roof. They had their guns pointed at him, make sure he was dead. He was dead, and that was it. It was over. Probably
2 to 3 minutes is a long time, though.
I hope he's turning this way. Be careful, guys. He's down. What's that? What's that? Somebody go on. He's right there. Oh no. Oh my God. Yes. Oh my God. What is going on? Dad, where's Seth? Dude, that's exactly why we need fucking Trump here.
Oh, fucking Secret Service don't fuck around, man. Holy shit.
Yeah, look, they're undercover.
Where's Seth from?
That's him laying.
Yo, don't hit subscribe. I always try to tell them, but they do it every time. I tell them it's a problem, but they acting like it's fine. I'm begging them to stop, but they leave me with a like.
And thank you, Allie. I think this right here is the shooter. Right there. That looks like a body laying down. There's a foot. I wish this thing would move. That's the shooter. I think that's why they're showing this in slow. He's laying on his stomach. Yeah, that's the shooter. There's his back, his butt, his foot. Looks like he's got a goatee or a beard. I gotta do ticker. I forgot. So he was only 20? Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. All right. Face. He's laying down. He's on his stomach. Back, butt, foot. That's him. See, but I don't understand. I get what Allie's saying. Here's what I don't understand. Is that how did they not see him before the shooting? If they have shooters on every single roof, then how did they not see him before this went down? That's what I don't get. I mean, this camera got him clear as day. Whoever took this photo or video. There he is. See, I was right. Feet. I don't know what this is. Clear as day. And I don't know if this is the gun, but how is that not seen? You know what I mean? How is that something this big not seen? Unless it's a shadow and I'm wrong. And I don't know what this is. The only problem with them blowing his head off is we don't know why. There's no reason why. Like I said, you can't say it's because Biden has been such a great president. But I know some of what I'm seeing is trees, but this right here looks like a rifle. I know this is trees. But this looks almost like a mount. I don't know if it is, but it looks like a mount. Yeah, but if he was jumping from different roofs, they would see it. I can't imagine them not seeing it if he was going roof to roof. There's a video of him saying he hates Trump. Rifle is against his right. Oh, right here. Okay. I see what you guys are saying. Then what's this? Just the tree? Because I see what you mean about the rifle. It was avoidable, 100%. But what a waste. 20 years old. Why? Just why? Allie, you're right. Every single inch should have been covered. This is just so fucked up. This is his head. It's like blurred out right here, but you can see his face right here. Like there's his eyes, his nose. Here's the rifle that they're saying is like up against his shoulder. And this is blurry. There's like a square of blur. They like blurred this right here. I don't know why. Thomas Matthew Crooks is who they are saying hasn't. Yes, I know. It's on my cover photo. Because that's what CNN reported, that it was him. Oh, you know what? I'm wrong. They're not. This isn't blurry. It says TMZ. The TMZ is what's making it blurry. I'm an idiot. All right, let me check Twitter. I'm sure Twitter's on fire. Okay, now. I can't tell you if I can't specify if this is legit. But we can go through all of these. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's like smoke or something from like a bullet. Again, I can't confirm it's real, but it's pretty wild. But it's, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it shows like the smoke. That would line up. I don't know. That would kind of line up too low. He got grazed up here. This would have come in here. So I don't know if it's real. Right, I don't know where they're saying that new footage shows sniper appearing to notice a suspect just milliseconds before the guy shot at Trump. Oh, I guess they're saying there, but I don't know. Okay, no offense, Kid Rock, but I don't think anyone's scared of you. Just saying. Mishima's hit with a bullet and spraying out liquid and some sort of gas. That's probably the smoke. Oh. I'll agree with Matt Wallace here. This was the most badass moment in modern American history. I absolutely agree with that. 100% agree with that. I agree with that. That was fucking badass. That's what a leader does. That's what a boss does. You try to shoot me, motherfucker, I don't give a shit. All right, here it is. New York Post. Oh, it was the New York Post, not CNN. New York Post is reporting the gunman who attempted to assassinate former President Trump is identified as 20-year-old Matthew Crooks. Just why? "20 years old." Counter sniper, see something and engage. And we wonder what's wrong with Generation Z. Right there. There you have it. There you have it. All right. So stage. Oh, he was on this roof? So the guys that were on this roof, which is what we saw, how the fuck did they not see these guys? Oh, I didn't know. Hold on. All right. She was just ranting about Trump. So that when we were looking, this is where we saw the guys on the roof. So they had a clear angle at this guy. So when the people told them, I'll get to it 1 second, Carolyn. When the people told them that there was somebody on the roof, well, they were in place for that. The Secret Service of the government was looking right at that. Maybe I don't know. Hold on. Yeah, 20 years old. Hold on. Oh, Bill O'Reilly, this ought to be good. Start at 4:46. All right.
Americans, and I mean, I can't tell you how many emails and texts I get from family and friends and from everybody. And it's always the same theme that everybody's just sad, not angry so much, but sad. There are people who are angry, and I understand both emotions. But it's just like, we're a great country. Why does it keep happening? Well, there's something that all of us can do. And that's my theme tonight, and it will be all of next week. We've got to stop the hate brigades on television and in print to a lesser extent. We've got to stop these people. And you and I can do it. We can stop the hate brigades. Now, who are they? And I'm going to name some of them in a moment. They're the people that throw out on both sides, but primarily on the left. Okay, the stack is about 6-1. Terms like Nazi, fascist, racist, anti-democracy, routinely throw it out, whipping up emotions against the individual they are targeting. That is a hate brigade. These people, some of them, are paid by big corporations to hate. Now, I've been doing commentary for 27 years. I don't do hate. I do criticism. I try not to do ad hominem. Very, very rarely will I bring that argument in, because my arguments are usually fact-based or stronger than the arguments against me. I win the debate almost 99% of the time. As you know, you guys have been watching me for a while. But the haters go on and they try to destroy the opposition. All the MAGA people are idiots. All right? They're beneath contempt. If you like Trump, I'm not talking to you. You can't work in Hollywood if you like Trump. These are the haters. Okay, so let's get specific. MSNBC is the most hateful network in the history of the United States. It is run by Comcast, NBC News. Comcast is a very profitable corporation out of Philadelphia. Its CEO is a guy named Brian Roberts, who I hear is a decent man. But Mr. Roberts allows hatred every single day, pays for it on MSNBC. The primary offenders on that network are a woman named Joy Reid, who is branding people racist almost every hour on the hour, in my opinion.
I'm sorry if that was echoing. Let me just say, I got boiled peanuts, Bill O'Reilly, and you guys. What more could a girl want in life? That's all I got to say.
Lawrence O'Donnell, for years, brings a level of scorn to anyone he disagrees with politically. a horrible person, in my opinion. And there are others too. But those two consistently do it. Reid and O'Donnell. Now, Brian Roberts is responsible for that. How about The View? A lot of hate. And the chief cheerleader of that hate is Joy Behar. And she has been doing this for decades. Decades. And she gets a check every week from Disney, which is run by a man named Bob Iger. Okay? Iger is apparently okay with Joy Behar, who's been there forever. Hating. Am I wrong? Then we go over to CNN. Two names. Jim Acosta. Is there anyone who hates Donald Trump more than this individual? On and on and on and on. They had to move him out of the White House because he was so hateful and put him on a weekend. And a woman named Abby Phillip. Ms. Phillip's specialty is branding people racist. She did it to me. Just like Joy Reid. That's her game. We disagree with you, you're a racist. Okay? CNN has a new CEO, an Englishman named Mark Thompson. Now, CNN's brand is ruined. Okay, Mr. Thompson's not in there to...
Let me add, this community is like the Wish version of this. Everything he's saying, we're like the Wish version.
Save it, he just laid off 100 more people. They're not coming back. And the reason they're coming back is because they can't out-hate MSNBC. So the far-left loons who want this stuff, they go to MSNBC because MSNBC is more hateful than CNN. So CNN's left with no one. And that's why I've never seen lower numbers. It's just incredible what's happening over there. How about Lynn Cheney? Lynn Cheney, about as hateful a person as you could possibly get. The voters of Wyoming threw her out 3-1. How about Jennifer Rubin? You know this woman? Washington Post. She's a pundit on. You don't get more hateful than that woman. And I had my go around. Just Google Bill O'Reilly, Jennifer Rubin. You'll see what she's got. Because I gave her a chance to redeem herself. Okay. So what everybody should do is write letters to the CEOs of any organization that you find hate on. And there's right-wing hate, and on Monday on the No Spin News, I'll run a montage of hatred on the right. I'm going to do it because it's not as common as what's on the left, but it's there. Vitriolic, we want to destroy you. But tonight, because Donald Trump came within an inch of losing his life, we're concentrating on the Trump haters. Roll the tape.
Not only are they planning on a civil war, if they have to do that, but he's spelling it out specifically how and what they're going to do and how he's going to get revenge, how he's going to attack his enemies, all of these things. And when he talks about race, we know, and I'm going to tell you again today, Donald Trump is a pure racist. And I am worried that the attack is going to be on people of color.
So maybe he didn't read Mein Kampf, but he kept a collection of Hitler's speeches by his bed, according to his first wife, in a Vanity Fair article. Oh. And you can hear it in his words. You can see it at his rallies. That's exactly the direction he's going. He's going doubling, tripling down on fascist Hitler-like rhetoric.
And I guess I'll just ask you, from somebody who's sitting outside of the media window, what is it going to take to get the media to take seriously the fact that Donald Trump is acting like a Nazi, talking like a Nazi, and now posting like a Nazi?
So is there any doubt why the level of hatred against Donald Trump and Joe Biden, level of hatred against Joe Biden is high, and Barack Obama? But with Trump, it's on steroids. Another cliche, but it is. Day in and day out and day in and day out, those people. I've known Trump. I wrote a book on him, The United States of Trump. I've known him for 35 years. He's not a Nazi. He's not a racist. His 4 years in office did more economic good for Black Americans than any president in our lifetime. And that includes Lyndon Johnson, with real wages going up for African Americans. I mean,
Well, also for white Americans, wasn't just Black Americans. Hey, Verika.
because I know so much, because I know most of these people, and I'm not in the business to put them out of business. I'm not saying pull them off the air. I'm saying to the CEOs, you better tell them to knock off the hate. I'm not organizing a boycott. I'm not doing any of that. I'm reporting the truth to you on why this happens. Once the level of hate, and you can see it in history, you can see it. Violence follows hatred. And we have now in our country Comcast, Disney, CNN, and many others paying for hatred. Come on. You can oppose Donald Trump just on facts. You don't need to call him a racist or a Nazi. You don't need to say that stuff, that he's going to put everybody in jail and be a dictator and all that. Kamala Harris, the other day, oh, he says he's going to be a dictator on day one. This is Kamala Harris, the vice president. That's not what he said, lady. Okay? He said he's going to be a dictator in taking out the executive orders that Joe Biden signed that Trump believes are harming the American people. And he has a perfect constitutional right to do that, Kamala Harris, even though you don't know what the Constitution says. Now, I'm not being hateful toward Kamala Harris. I'm stating a fact. Kamala Harris is going to publicly say that Trump wants to be a dictator on day one. She either doesn't understand or doesn't care about why Trump said what he said, or is too dumb to know what the situation really is. That's it. There's no other ground. Now, I'm going to opt for doesn't care. He doesn't care what she says. So anyway, something good may come out of this. I'm going to wrap it up. Something good might come out of this. The hate brigade has to go. And millions of American people are going to have to mobilize against the corporations that are paying for the hatred. It's as simple as that. And I'm going to lead it. I'm leading it. I'm going to lead the brigades. All right? The good brigades against the hate brigades. So on Monday, we're going to have obviously we'll know a lot more about the attempted assassination. We'll know a lot more about reaction to it. We'll have all that. And as I said, we'll have a montage of haters on the right that want Joe Biden destroyed. They want him out anyway. Put him in a coffin. Okay? But we are going to continue to say, here are the addresses. Here's how you do it. I'm going to give you all that information. You can easily get it on the internet. And if millions of Americans start to rally around the hate brigades and say, no, enough. We want differences of opinion. We want robust debate. That is healthy and good. But if you're going to pay for hatred, you're going to have to pay a price with we, the decent American public. Is that too much to ask? Am I doing the wrong thing? Bill at BillO'Reilly.com. Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, name and town. All right, that is our special report. I'm sorry I had to bring it to you under these circumstances. But we are going to be ahead of the game. We are going to have more information than anyone else, just like we have had more information about Joe Biden than anybody else. I actually wrote a column on Biden that I have to postpone because I'm going to use this program as my column tomorrow on BillO'Reilly.com. So if your friends didn't see this or anything, you'll.
My dad used to watch O'Reilly. I remember every single night. My dad would put on Bill O'Reilly and he swore by him. And he would yell at the TV and he'd be like, Laura, get me the remote. He's like, he's pissing me off tonight. But every single night he watched him. And every time I watch Bill O'Reilly, all I can think about is my dad. That's all I think about. So thank you, Bill O'Reilly, for giving my dad years and years and years of entertainment. Now let's think about what he was saying, though. He made some excellent points. What I think is unreasonable, though, Comcast, Disney, they're not going to change. People aren't going to pull their subscriptions. They're not going to stop watching. I get the hiccups. Half of America are haters. Everyone needs a bad guy. Well, Trump is the bad guy. But as I've said in the past, the reality is I don't care what he's like as a person, as long as he's a good fucking president. I don't care what an asshole somebody is off camera, what their personal life is outside of YouTube, if they're a good YouTuber, if they're a cool YouTuber. I don't care if they, screw monkeys in the background. If they give a good story on YouTube, great. Same thing. I don't care what their personal life is or if he's a narcissist or I said 8 years ago, Trump's narcissism is what is going to make him a good fucking president. And everyone said, what do you mean? Like my mom thinks I'm crazy. What do you mean? What do you mean? I said, because Trump is not going to fail. He's not going to be looked at as a horrible president. He is going to take his narcissism to the highest level and make sure that he does what he says he's going to do. His narcissism is going to work in American favor. And I was right. I was 100% right. Now it's become even before today, it has become an absolute a hate brigade against America, a hate brigade against Biden. Trump wanted his title back. He felt that he got gypped. He felt that he got robbed. He felt corruption. And think about it. They have done everything to stop him from being the Republican nominee. Why nobody else ran as a Republican nominee, I don't know. I mean, shit, the year he ran, there were 15 people trying to win that nomination. Why are they so easily giving it to him? They tried stopping him on every corner, yet nobody's running against him for the spot. I find that odd too. So they're either going to let Trump win or we're going to have a president who's going to put us into the fucking ground. Those are our two choices. I think Trump's a better president. Just saying. But Democrats and Biden people will tell you that, oh, they did run against him? I didn't realize that. I don't really follow politics much. I should have put I should have put a disclaimer on this that I'm not a big political person, but this is serious. Thanks, Kate. This is like kind of serious, you know? They didn't have the number. Oh, okay. My bad. Like I said, I'm not into politics. I rarely even vote. But now the president got shot, now I'm going to vote. He beat them all. Who was running? I didn't even know who was running. I'm so bad. All right. All right, let me show you guys what I'm looking at. So you don't think I'm just being quiet. Shoot his shirt up close. His shot was almost perfect. He knew how to shoot and how to shoot accurately. He was literally a 1/8 of an inch from the T-zone. Okay, I don't understand what that has to do with the shirt. Hold on, I gotta put sound on.
What did you see, sir?
I heard the shots. I thought it was firecrackers to begin with. Somebody over there was screaming, he's been shot, he's been shot. So I made my way over. I said, I'm an emergency department physician. Let me help you. The guy had spun around, was jammed between the benches. He had a headshot here. There was lots of blood, and he had brain matter there. And so I got him. There's a helicopter coming in to get him. I got people there really helpful. I got
Was
him
there only
up
one
on the
person
bench.
shot that you saw?
Then I did CPR, did chest compressions as well as I breathed for him.
One person.
I was the only one that did it.
We need to evacuate everybody.
What did you see, sir?
I heard the shots.
So this, all right, so this is a doctor who helped the person in the crowd, right? He's not talking about the shooter. He's talking about the guy that died.
I thought it was firecrackers to begin with. Somebody over there was screaming, he's been shot, he's been shot. So I made my way over. I said, I'm an emergency department physician. Let me help you. The guy had spun around, was jammed between the benches. He had a headshot here. There was lots of blood, and he had brain matter there. And so I got him. There's a helicopter coming in to get him. I got people there really helpful. I got
Was
him
there only
up
one
on the
person
bench.
shot that you saw?
Then I did CPR, did chest compressions as well as I breathed for him.
One person.
I was the only one that did it.
We need to evacuate everybody.
What did you see, sir?
That's sad. You can see he was about to cry.
Tried to take them off. So we're just trying to figure out what happened. To me, as you're trying to figure out if you're okay, what's going on, was he shot, was he wounded? Then we heard him on the microphone, Shannon, saying, let me grab my shoes as they tried to take them off. So we're just trying to figure out what happened. To me, as you're trying to figure out if you're okay, what's going on, was he shot, was he wounded? Then we heard him on the microphone, Shannon, saying, let me grab my shoes as they tried to take them off. So
Okay, please tell me that's the shooter they're carrying like that and not the person that was hurt. Please tell me that's the shooter. Hey, Joneson. Did you guys see that? They're carrying something out. They're carrying a body out. You got to assume it's the shooter.
So we're just trying to figure out what happened. To me, as you're trying to figure out if you're okay, what's going on, was he shot, was he wounded? Then we heard him on the microphone, Shannon, saying, let me grab my shoes as they tried to take him off. So we're just trying to figure out what happened. To me, as
Crazy. No sound of the return shots fired. This guy's dragged out of the crowd bloody. Ouch. Oh, was a victim? Yeah, this is this is a little longer than the original. So my question is, these guys are fucking lucky they weren't hit, but it looks like somebody over here was. I mean, these guys should be thankful they're still alive. I mean, look how close they are. This guy should be kissing the ground. These people, I wonder if this is the one that was shot.
We see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hold, when you're ready, on you.
These two are like drunk and clueless, absolutely clueless. But you know what's interesting though? Every time I watch this, and I heard this earlier, very rarely will you ever hear the Secret Service and what they're saying to each other. Oh, the microphone was never turned off. It's pretty wild. That's like a piece of history that you'll never get again. You'll never hear that again. But everyone is just stunned. They are lucky to be alive.
See something that said, take a look at what happened.
Moving to spare. Hold, when you're ready, on you. Ready, move. Up, move, go.
Hawkeye's here.
Move it to the spare.
Get ready.
You ready? Are we good? Shooters down. Are we good to move?
Now, I just noticed something. Let me tell you. Our Secret Service for Trump fucking sucks. Let me show you why. I don't know if anyone else caught it. This dude stands up. He should have been tackled on the spot. He stands up and goes to put his hand in his pocket. They don't know if he had a fucking gun or not. He could have been a second shooter getting a close-up. Nobody even noticed it or looked over. That's a problem. That's a serious issue. He could have been anybody getting anything out of his pocket. And it's so nonchalantly stands up. He, not to be judgy, but he kind of looks a little weird. Even though he's at every rally, still doesn't matter. To me, that's the first thing I thought of when he put his hand in his pocket. They're all confused. But I don't know. I just think they should have been there and like tackled him. Like, dude, no. No. I don't know. I think he was just acting shady.
Are we good? Shooters down. Are we good to move? We're clear. We're clear.
Like, this dude is looking, but nobody's looking at the whole crowd. That could be an entire crowd of anybody. Yeah, but I know people are screened, but stuff does still get through. It does.
Let me get my shoes.
Got you, sir. I got you, sir.
Let me get my shoes, sir.
Hold that in your head. It's bloody.
So we gotta move to the car. Let me get my shoes.
Okay. Watch out.
Yeah, but like even the camera guys were all fucked up. I don't know. I just think there should have been more coverage on the audience just in case. Oh, you hadn't heard that audio before? Yeah. A lot of people heard it. They didn't think of it though. They didn't realize it. MSNBC would be, that's true, Violet Lilac. Did you see I named the candle after you? I don't know if you noticed. But I did. I named Violet Lilac. I meant to tell you that. JLR, the shooter who attempted to assassinate has been identified by the New York Post. You're an hour and a half late, JLR. I was a sniper employment officer for my battalion and led hundreds of combat missions. There were major security lapses in a security plan that allowed a shooter to engage President Trump from 130 meters, an easy shot. Well, it wasn't that easy. Elon Musk, I fully endorse President Trump and hope for his rapid recovery. Did Elon Musk always support Trump?
I think that.
Oh, this is live coverage from a cell phone, I guess.
Lá em cima, né? Aqui, ó. You can see the guy there. I think they hit him because the guy he looks dead. Tá vendo? Lá em cima, né? Aqui, ó. You can see the guy there. I think they hit him because the guy he looks dead.
All right, there you go. Is the guy dead? You're welcome, Scooby Dooby. He was 20 years old from Bethel Park, which is about 40 miles south of Butler, Raleigh. AR-15 was reportedly recovered at the scene. Oh, yeah, they shot him in the head. He was skinny. Did it not? I think so. Oh, you always supported Trump? Okay. I didn't mean to do that. I don't follow Elon. I think he's crazy. All right, so Colin Rugg said Thomas Matthew Crook's ID. These guys are all late. I had this an hour and a half ago. Hello. Biden told donors on a private call this afternoon it's time to put Trump in the bullseye. Yeah, okay. His new pronouns are was and were. Okay. Fish say there were several suspicious occurrences in the moments before Trump was shot. They say they're looking into reports by eyewitnesses that warnings about that attempted assassin were ignored.
To this will be all part of the after action.
Can you comment on reports that there were people who saw someone on the roof and tried to alert authorities?
We're following up on those. I will tell you that I am aware of those, and I am aware that law enforcement had responded to a number of reports of suspicious activity. The specific response to this will be all part of the after action. But yes, law enforcement was responding to check on several suspicious occurrences.
Can you comment on reports that there were people who saw someone on the roof and tried to alert authorities?
We're following up on those. I will tell you that I am aware of those, and I am aware that law enforcement had responded to a number of reports of suspicious activity. The specific response to this will be all part of the after action. But yes, law enforcement was responding to check on several suspicious occurrences.
Can you comment on reports that there were people who saw someone?
This all seems to be repeating. Was anyone able to locate a video? Like Crystal and someone else said that there's a video of him before he went online. I mean, before he shot. Representative Ronnie Jackson said that his nephew was shot during the assassination attempt on Trump. Oh.
Stay under here.
They did warn. It's right here. Listen to the screams.
And you know, that's a little bit. He's going down!
Stay under here.
And you know, that's a little bit. He's going down!
So there was warning. They did scream. There's video to prove it. That's a cute shirt. That's another cute one. This is true too.
Stay under here.
And you know, that's a little bit. He's going down!
Stay under here.
And you know, that's a little bit. He's going down!
You hear someone call him a dumbass, which means that they didn't take him seriously.
Else waiting for Trump, and as Trump started, I noticed two officers that were looking for something or somebody. I was looking around myself and seen a guy on top of one of the buildings go in between one building to the next, and went and told the officer that he was up there. And when I went back to my spot, I heard that people could still see the person from where they were standing. So I checked that out, and I went back to tell the officer that if he came over there, he could see them. And when I turned my back is when the shots started, and then it took me a second or two to figure out exactly what it was. And then it was just getting out of there and helping some other person out with her child, and we got out, and that was the end of that.
So that's the second person that said that they saw a shooter. Some are saying that's not the right person. I don't know. Kind of looks like him in the videos. Hey, John. John, come on. That's like saying a girl walking down New York City deserves to get raped. Come on. I know you're not a Trump fan, but come on. Nobody deserves to be assassinated. All right. Voter registration Republican. If it's real. John, of course there was. Wow, people are jumping on this shit real quick. That's funny. All right, is this it? Oh, here's the video you guys are talking about.
Guy. My name is Thomas Matthew Crooks. I hate Republicans. I hate Trump. And guess what? You got the wrong guy. My name is Thomas Matthew Crooks. I hate Republicans. I hate Trump. And guess what? You got the wrong guy.
Well, that's a creepy, interesting video. So posted less than an hour ago on Instagram. I don't know. That's a great picture. It really is a good picture. That's a great picture, too. That kind of reminds me of like a 9/11 picture. Trump shooter's been arrested at the scene now. He wasn't arrested. Well, Oh, come on. He didn't save Trump's life. The dude fucking shot 9 shots. What saved Trump's life is a fucking idiot, is a bad shoot, is a bad shot. I think we've seen every video there is to see. See, I agree with you. It was very weird. That's why I think the shots were coming from the other direction. All right. This is going to be an unpopular opinion, but here it goes. We've all seen a photo by now of the sniper taking his view off of the scope, hesitating. Honestly, I probably would have done the same in that situation. Let me explain. Think about it. You're not in Syria. You're on sniper duty at a political rally in the US. You usually don't have threats. Whatever threats you do have are usually an unruly Bernie bro that venue security can't throw out. Secret Service usually doesn't get involved. Then you see something, looks like a gun. Better get this right. We all remember what happened to Derek Chauvin. Sticks head up, looks up to confirm. Imagine shooting an unarmed civilian because you thought you saw a gun. Seriously, imagine the news stories the next day. He's not wrong. You've heard of fight or flight, but there is a third option, freeze. You're not in Syria or Iraq. It's not that kind of rules of engagement. What do? Better get this right. Then the shots confirm what you saw and you return fire. All this thought process happens in about 3 seconds and you watch the clip. It's easy to pick about that clip now, but at the time, everybody was even watching. They were listening to Trump's speech. That was it. Again, probably not going to like my take. I don't really like it either. It's the kind of thing that training is supposed to fix, but I also understand. I don't know. I'm kind of iffy on that because if you're a trained sniper for the Secret Service, you're at an elite level that you shouldn't have flinched. You should know exactly when to fucking shoot. So I don't totally agree with that. I really don't. That's like saying like the top lawyer in the entire United States forgot to add this rule. No. The top lawyer of the United States wouldn't forget to add that rule. Yeah, but I don't know if he's actual police or that could just be whatchamacallit. That could just be like a bulletproof vest or something. I don't know. Dr. Ruth died. Aw. Rest in peace, Dr. Ruth. I didn't know she died. I know. I love Dr. Ruth. She was awesome. I knew Richard Simmons died. I didn't know Dr. Ruth died. I knew Shelley Duvall died, and I knew Richard Simmons, but not Dr. Ruth. I know, right, Crystal? Yeah, this is all repeat stuff. We've seen all this. Maybe you're right. Maybe it is local cops. Huh? Let's just see a red Kabbalah. I don't see a red Kabbalah. Yeah, I got the whole. I saw that. I just passed it. I don't know. It was up here somewhere. Tiny little hole. I want to thank United States Secret Service, law enforcement for the rapid response on the shooting that just took place. More importantly, I want to extend my condolences to the family of the person at the rally who was killed, and also to the family of another person who was badly injured. Much bleeding took place, so I realized then what was happening. God bless America, Donald Trump. I mean, the good thing is his ear is intact. Very lucky. Oh, there it is. Trump was shot in the vest and in the ear. I think we got everything. This can't be from today because there would be so many more secret agents around him. So I don't believe this is from right now. Joe, not quite ready to go out on a limb and call it an assassination attempt? Really? What the fuck would you call it?
And I'll get back to you if I do. Okay?
Mr. President, do you think this was an assassination attempt?
I don't know enough to. I have an opinion, but I don't
Well,
have
Joe,
the facts. So I want to make
he
sure
had his
I
ear
have all
shot
the
off.
facts before I make some comment. Any more comments.
So I do think it's an assassination attempt, and you don't need more facts.
Wow, Biden just proves every day what a fucking idiot he is. Attempted assassination on Trump. While the bullet missed, it struck a member of my wife's family, killing him. The left is celebrating this, making jokes. They're nothing but vile people, senseless violence.
This is your fault! Every last one! This is your fault! It is your fault! This is your fault! You! This is your fault! I got you. Easy. Your fault! This is your fault! You want this! You remember what you caused! This is your fault! You! You! This is your fault! Every last one!
I was wondering who he was yelling at. He was yelling at the press. I was like, who's this guy yelling at? CNN is now saying President Trump was wrong for saying fight, fight, fight after assassination attempt. The media is the enemy of the people. Oh my God, dude, give it up. I can't fucking stand Alex Jones. That's true. We're 2 inches away from a civil war. I want to see what like the heavy liberals are saying.
Oh my gosh, Trump's shot. I think he's fine. So an assassination attempt was just made on President Donald Trump, and I don't think it was successful. I think he got grazed in the ear. I'm not going to fearmonger you guys and do the whole conservative, oh my gosh, Trump's shot. I think he's fine. To the knowledge that I was able to find through a few minutes of research, because it just happened a few minutes ago, he's fine. But here's what I want to say, and I've been wanting to say this for a while. I am so tired of these diluted American brains that are listening to this theater script play out on television, telling them that reality is one thing, and they're not smart enough to step out their door and realize reality is completely different. We have the news telling us white supremacy is one of the biggest threats to our country. We have people telling us that the conservatives are the same as the neo you-know-whats. They have people saying that ultra MAGA is violent. They have people saying that Trump's trying to overthrow democracy. They have people saying that all of the violence and the civil unrest and the inflation and everything is conservative Trump fault. And I'm tired of it. If you aren't smart enough to step outside your door and look around and be like, all right, hold up. This theater that I'm watching inside isn't matching what's going on outside. Learn to do your own research. I am tired of you guys just running around, I'm a proud American, and then opening your mouth to be spoon-fed information so you can palate it. Because if you ever had to draw your own conclusion or connect your own dots, you would be completely lost and probably dye your hair purple. There is one president in this race that had an assassination attempt taken against him. As a matter of fact, if you think back to the last president that had an assassination attempt taken on him that has gotten this close, you're going to go back a ways. And if you actually look at the presidents that were assassinated and you look at what they were doing to the government money, you would realize the reason they're getting taken out isn't because some random Joe Schmo downtown doesn't want that president. It's because the system feels threatened. It's not some random person that's living out in the country that's like, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to take out Donald Trump. No, this is a systematic approach, right? Their first approach was, hey, we're going to make sure that Joe Biden gets elected and we're going to make sure he gets the votes. He got the votes. Boom. This time around, they were going to do the same thing. They were going to put Joe out there. He was going to get a landslide of votes. Joe was going to win again. But here's the thing. They decided instead of trying to do anything risky, let's just put our opponent in prison. Let's do it the legal way. Let's send him through the judicial system, get him locked up so he can't run for president. And that failed. And as a matter of fact, it garnished more support for Donald Trump. So they were like, oh, crap, Joe Biden, you got to get out there and debate. You got to make sure we can sell how many votes you're going to get and people are going to believe it. But guess what? Joe went up there and fumbled the ball. It's not a coincidence that this assassination attempt happened right after Joe Biden completely fumbled the bag on the debate stage. And all of a sudden, even his own supporters are calling for him to step down. And now the system that you supposedly hate but somehow still vote liberal, that system.
Oh my God, I love this guy. He is so spot on. And he said dye your hair purple. So we like him. But no, I like this dude.
Is panicking, and the only other option they have, since they already exhausted the fake vote, they've already exhausted the legal proceedings, and now their only option is left with desperate, take him out. If you guys can't actually see this playing out, then I don't know what you're on, but I'm so sick and tired of the mentality that Americans have, being like, well, no, start paying attention. Start paying attention. The presidents that get taken out are the presidents that threaten the same system that you complain incarcerates black people, the same system that won't give you health care, the same system that's doing everything that you've complained about for decades, yet somehow you keep voting for Joe Biden 1994 crime bill, Kamala Harris imprisoning black people on minor marijuana charges just to put people on her prison workforce. If you don't wake up and smell the freaking flowers, I don't know what you're going to do for the rest of your life. Stop thinking like they're telling you how to think and start thinking for yourself. When you go vote, there's one guy that's taking out the system that hates you, and there's another guy that's making that system stronger. You make that choice.
That was a great video. I like you, John Dawson. Oh, shut up, Alex Jones.
It was about to tame the CIA, and they knew it. They tried to take out Ronald Reagan on Iran-Contra. Same people. Same game plan. They failed, and now they tried to take Trump out. This is a linear line. These are the same forces. They may not be the exact same people, but they are the same forces. They're Wall Street. They're the global elite. They're the intelligence agencies. They're big pharma, particularly, and they know that if they have a fair election, Trump is going to win. So their next move is to try to keep him off the ballot. Every American needs to be praying, not just for our nation, but also for the safety of Donald Trump and his family, because he is the one man who stands between us and them. He's the one man who stands between the New World Order, one world government, the end of American sovereignty, and a flourishing, free American society.
All right, that's a little overkill. I know it sounds all good, but he's only going to be president for 4 years. He can't change all that. Just saying.
Live Trump, let's go, baby, Trump 2024! Denver, let's hear it for Evan Elder! Hey, I heard they just tried to whack my boy Trump. I'm glad that man's okay. Long live Trump, let's go, baby, Trump 2024! Denver, let's hear it for Evan Elder! Hey, I heard.
Does not have that. He doesn't have that now. I get it. There are some legalities involved. But President Trump is a former president running for re-election. You essentially have two incumbents running. Folks, he does not have a full presidential package right now. It is putting the man in danger. His threat level is apocalyptic and catastrophic. It is time right now for Kim Cheadle, the Secret Service director, to get her head out of her ass and do the right thing. I could tell you stories for days about her putting politics ahead of presidential protection. I am not being overly emotional because I've said it before. The Secret Service director is utterly unqualified right now to be doing what she's doing. It is time for her first to get this thing solved. It's an emergency situation right now and find out what happened, but she should step down immediately. Some of the things she has told people on that detail about security arrangements, clearly making political statements, she is completely unqualified. It is time for President Trump to have a full presidential package.
He's not president yet. All right. This is going to be the last video I'm going to play because this should be interesting.
Perhaps in the immediate aftermath, what we can say is that there's a media environment of hysteria and hatred generated, curiously, by the rational neoliberal mainstream media, inflating the threat of Trump, demonizing the character of Trump, constantly associating Trump with hatred, escalating his possible and now yet more likely election with a...
All right, I can't handle him. Off on president. Yeah, he gets some Secret Service, but not a full package. Maybe that is a new video. I don't understand why there's not more people around him. Sure you did, Alex Jones. Wow. All right, it's all the same stuff. So everyone's blaming the media. I thought Alex Jones was banned from Twitter. Why is he back? All right, the widely circulated photo of Thomas Matthew Crooks is actually ex-user Jew gazing. He is unrelated to attempted assassination of former President Trump. Page doesn't exist. Is that the same guy? Well, if it's not, let me tell you. If it's not, I can't even imagine the conspiracies that are going to fall from this. Gee, Coffendorfer, that was a genius. That's real genius. I mean, let's be fair, though. Hey, Bridget, let's be fair, though. Now I forgot what I was going to say. I don't know who this guy is, but he's cute. Oh. Yeah, this is all repeated stuff. But I hope for those of you who don't have Twitter, I hope you enjoyed all the Twitter stuff. Oh, he's banned from Twitter, but not from X. Gotcha. Oh, that's a loophole. Hey, Desiree. I agree. I don't believe that Trump is going to do an abortion ban. I think he's going to reverse it. I really do. I could be wrong, but shut up, Alex Jones. Purple. Why are people so stupid? Tell me why people are so dumb saying Trump staged that himself. Nobody staged someone to die. Oh my God, all these people saying it's staged. These people are so dumb.
Joseph, you told me off camera that you may have witnessed this, and I'm so sorry to be talking to you in this tragic moment, but can you describe what it is that you saw?
I was attending the rally. I was in the set of bleachers, the very far left of the podium where President Trump was speaking. I was there with friends. I heard several gunshots. The man beside me suffered a gunshot wound to the head, was instantly killed, fell to the bottom of the bleachers. Another woman looked like she got hit in the forearm or hand. And then at that point in time, it was rather chaotic at that point because half the people were looking because they thought it was fireworks. I knew it was gunshots right away. My friend, he hit the deck. I was kind of looking around just trying to see where the shots were coming from. It seemed to me like the shots were coming from behind the bleachers. It seemed to me the man got hit in the head from behind. He was killed instantly, as far as I could tell. And at that point, state police and a SWAT team, started evacuating the bleachers, and then I helped carry the man out of the bleachers to a tent that was behind the bleachers.
You helped carry the man yourself. What was his condition when you were carrying him?
He's deceased. He died.
How close were you to him?
A couple yards. It wasn't very far.
Did you know the man?
No, it's a police ranger. They put a towel over his head and then carried him off.
And you said there was another woman nearby who was also injured. Where was she in relation to him?
I believe she was in the bleachers, like either above me or just to the side of him. But it seemed like she was kind of at my flank, and then she flinched, and it looked like she had taken a gunshot wound to the forearm and hand.
Joseph, from where I was standing, we heard multiple gunshots, 8 to 11 shots. We've been hearing it replayed on the video here. Do you remember, can you tell, I know it was a chaotic scene, but at what point, was it immediately when you heard the gunshots that he was shot, or was it later on into the firing?
The first 7, he was hit and she was hit within the first 7 shots. I counted 7 shots.
What was going through your mind? You were right there. I know it happened so quickly, but what can you tell us about those moments?
First, I was in shock because I know what gunshots sound like, so I knew they were gunshots. I couldn't tell from where they were coming from. And when I noticed someone got hit, then I noticed, well, it seemed like they were coming from behind me, and it just was pandemonium. And then I heard some more shots. And I couldn't quite tell where they were coming from, but I counted the first 7. They were very loud and very close. And it killed one man and wounded another woman.
And Joseph, you told me that you're a doctor, you're an OBGYN. How did that background play into how quickly you were sort of able to assess the situation and know what happened to these individuals and know what was going on?
Well, I told the police, I tried to render assistance. I told the police I could render assistance. They had another physician on the EMT team, so they kind of took over. So they weren't really need me, so I kind of helped carry them down initially out of the bleachers. Yeah, I mean, there wasn't, the man that got hit, there was no assistance that needed to be given. And unfortunately, his family witnessed the whole thing. It seemed like he had several family members in the bleacher with him, and they were quite upset. They didn't know, they were in shock. They didn't quite know what's going on, but the man was definitely killed instantaneously.
Could you tell us sort of how many family members or people who knew him were with him, and what was their reaction?
I thought there was 5 people. 2 of them were relatively hysterical. So, but they were, when we took the man out of the bleachers, he went to the tent. There was an aid tent or some type of tent behind the bleachers where they took the body, and they immediately evacuated the family with them. And the 2 out of the 5, it seemed like, in shock, hysterical. Like they were still trying to process what was going on.
Joseph, from where I was standing, we heard the shots. We saw the president go down.
Yeah, I saw President Trump get hit. Yeah.
What can you tell us? What details you remember?
It seemed like his head was off to the side, and it seemed like he got nicked in the ear.
Was that before the Secret Service took him down to the ground, covered him?
Right before the Secret Service. I mean, it was maybe, again, it's hard to tell, time dilates when it seemed like it was a second or 2. Like that first 7 shots that went off, the man got hit. He was killed almost instantly. The woman in the bleachers, she got injured, like she got hit in the forearm and the hand. And then in those rounds that were fired, again, I was videoing the event. So that's when I saw Trump get hit. And it seemed to me like he was looking to the side and the round grazed his ear. So
could you tell the gentleman that was hit in the head what angle he was in relation to the former president, like which direction the bullets were coming from and to?
So it looked like he was facing the president at the very far left portion of the bleachers. So he's directly facing it. Again, it seemed to me like the shots were coming from the rear, like behind us. And for me, it seemed like the man was in the way. I guess.
In the way of the former president?
No, it seemed like the man was in the way of the shots between whoever was shooting the gun and the president. The man was hit. It seemed like he was in the crossfire.
And I know, and I know you're in shock and still processing all of this. It's sort of hard to evaluate our own emotions in this moment, but you just experienced something horrific.
Yes.
What can you tell us about your state of mind right now?
Yeah, I've had opportunities to go to these rallies before. It's the first one I ever went to. I had, time off to go do it. I was kind of excited to go, but it's, everyone, it's something you don't expect. It comes out of the blue. It's like a bolt out of the blue, and it's shocking. The way politics goes in this country, it just seems like it's really polarized. Everyone's just very angry. I'm honestly shocked this didn't happen earlier. I was commenting to my friend who went to the event with me. I was like, the back behind the bleachers, it's really open. It seems like a really open venue. And it just, I got this sense that, if someone really wanted to do something, again, I was openly talking to her, and I was like, if something bad was going to be happening, this is the perfect venue to have. I just said this like an hour before it happened. I was like, this would be the perfect place to do it. And, surprisingly enough, it happened.
And that's why I make non-toxic candles, Bridget. So, all right, that's what I was going to say before. All right, listen. Everyone's blaming Democrats. Everyone is saying it's their fault. It's media's fault. No, at the end of the day, it's some psycho motherfucker who decided that killing Trump would be a good idea. I can't blame the media. I can't blame the lefties. I can't blame Democrats. At the end of the day, only one guy chose to make that choice, and he is the only one to blame. You got to call a spade a spade. We don't know if that's legit. About him being a registered Republican, we don't know. They can't even get a picture right. Okay. Are these people dumb? People lift their hand like sports people do it all the time. Boxers do it all the time. I don't know why they're making such a fucking big deal out of it.
Happened to our country, probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened. Happened to our country, probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
I'm sorry. Secret Service should have been a lot quicker. It took them like 4 shots to even move. Very weird. I showed all the TMZ videos. I showed this one before. No, they didn't jump fast enough.
I hope he's turning this way. Be careful, guys.
Yeah, the same video I showed before. I'm telling you guys, I don't think there's a video I haven't shown. I'm gonna wake up to like 32 copyright strikes. Trump Flynn FAFO. But that'll work.
told his donors that it's time to put Trump in a bullseye. Well, guess what? That is exactly what someone did today with their rifle as they attempted to assassinate President Trump. They did exactly what Joe Biden said to his donors on the phone. I'm really disgusted because here's why. Just earlier today.
Okay, but a 20-year-old kid was not watching. He wasn't part of that private phone call. So let's not get too ridiculous. Yeah, guys, I think I covered absolutely everything. Wow, she got old. She didn't do too well. All right, I think I covered everything. Copyright strikes not. I know, right? They usually do, though. I'm just saying, I'm going to wake up to like 35 copyright strikes. Not copyright strikes, like content ID strikes. All right, get me off of Twitter. I could be here for hours. All right, shutting down Twitter. But yeah, for anyone that doesn't have Twitter, there you go. You've seen everything there is to see on Twitter about this. Just don't let the conspiracy theories get to you, because a lot of shit is going to come out now. Don't let it get to you. Wait till the police actually have answers. One thing I wanted to look up. Hold on. All right. NBC, okay. NBC reported 49 minutes ago. They reported Thomas Matthew Crooks. So every news station, USA Today, everybody's reporting what I put on the cover of this. The FBI has identified the man who attempted to assassinate former president as 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks of Bethel, Pennsylvania. Crooks from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, an hour south of Butler. No picture, though. Which is kind of weird, too. You know, usually they'll put a picture. Let's see. Nah, no pictures of them. Just that same one. Now we're back on Twitter. See, I don't think this is the same guy, though. I think they're right about this. I don't think that's the same guy. This guy's profile, his hair's much shorter, and this profile is weird. He also looks much bigger. I don't know. I don't think it's the same person. Maybe want to notify first of kind for. I don't know. We could try Rumble for some. Nah, I think I'm burnt out. I'm almost 3 hours on this. See, they're saying that this video was recorded prior. I don't believe that. All right. Hold on, I'm looking up something. Yeah, they're not giving any information. He shot from 130 yards away, like which we knew already. FBI within the last hour have identified him. Carolyn, did you find any information on him? Right, there's another Twitter. Yeah, I guess the FBI identified him within the last hour. Every news station is reporting that. Source says the early indication is that shooter was a lone wolf, but the situation is fluid. The FBI was subject involved in the shooting. The left one spectator dead. Officials briefed the investigation, told ABC the shooting, a chilling development on the evening of RNC, was being investigated as an assassination attempt and that live rounds were apparently fired from outside security perimeter. Secret Service said in a statement that shooter fired multiple shots toward the stage from an elevated position outside the rally venue. The shooter fired as many as 8 rounds from an AR-style rifle while perched on a rooftop adjacent to the venue. Oh, here's a better shot. All right, check it out. I can't really make it bigger, but you can see that's where he was. But that's like so open. So maybe the back and forth with these two buildings. Because you can get both of them right there, and he's got something right here. So I bet the buildings he was going back and forth from with these two. He would just walk over. No, they did give him a name. It's all over. It's on every news station. Yeah, I don't think it was him. I'll show you. Every single news report is showing him. And that's page 2. Every single one. FBI identified Thomas Cooks at Bethel Park. So it's definitely him. But it doesn't give you much more information. Crazy, right? Ah, what a day. What a day. You guys realize how much we've seen in our lifetime? Between COVID, where the whole world shut down, and an assassination attempt on a president, the first Black president, the first businessman president. Like, we have really seen a lot in our lifetime. Cell phones, technology, cars that ride by themselves, microwaves. Think about it. If you're my age, if you're like in your 30s, you don't get it. 9/11. We have seen so much in our lifetime. I thought like my grandparents' generation saw a lot. No, we saw a lot. The end of segregation. I'm not that old. No, I think they meant of who died, not who was hit. I thought they said the name of the sex of the person that died. We really have seen some awesome stuff. I told my kids, I was like, never again will the world shut down like it did in April of 2020. Like, that is something you're never going to see again. How the whole world just stopped for a month, literally just stopped for a month. And you had to hang out in your house and you couldn't go outside. And odds you will never see that again in a lifetime. It's just wild, though. From when, if you're in your 50s, from when we were really little, and now technology and how far it's come and how far cars have come, it's just wild. Was it really? People are dying for their beliefs, orientation, race, political views, sad state we live in. I agree. Liver Laura has an R on the end somehow, but they said two crit. What do you mean have an R at the end? Have an R of what? No, but April, we were on, like, May, things started to open. Yeah, you had like the army there pulling the streets. It wasn't that bad here. I worked through it all. I didn't have a choice. I worked from home though. When you say saw. Yeah, I don't know why I do that. Court's another thing I can't say lately. See, but they're not showing a picture of them. Who is suspect? Totally blank. Not an isolated incident. Trump's top VP contender, J.D. Vance, alleges Biden's involvement in rally shooting. The FBI has now named Thomas Matthew Crooks as government involved. The FBI identified Thomas Matthew Crooks, 20 at Bethel Park. The remains active. One spectator was killed, 2 spectators. So there were 4 people injured. I totally agree, Trump. And sadly, I think because of this, a lot of people are going to vote for him that were undecided. And a lot of more people are going to vote for him that they didn't know if they were going to vote for him. Oh, and by the way, before I get off, for those of you that know me, have been with me for a while, I shaved my legs today. And I know my new people like, what the fuck is the big deal? Why are you telling us shave your legs? But this was the first time I had to shave my legs. So that's a good sign. Like I said, for those of you that may be listening that don't know anything about me, I just got finished with cancer treatments and I went through chemo and radiation and I lost all my hair. But so to have hair enough to shave my legs, I was very excited. So that's why I said I shaved my legs. That's like very exciting news. Right? That's what I'm saying. It's very exciting news. People say combine it. Yeah, but I just think now it's people are really going to vote for him. Isn't that amazing? I'm very happy. Now we just got to get my hair on my head to grow faster. I know, right, Violent? Who ever thought I'd be happy about shaving? Yeah, it's definitely Thomas. She and Donald Trump's rally, bummer. Yeah. All right. All right, I'm gonna go to bed. Oh, I don't even know where Puppy is. But if you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. And I gotta add 2 people to the board because I forgot. Mine still goes slow and I'm treatment about my kid. Oh, don't say that. 28 years ago. Oh no. Thank you, Ms. Vu. I'm excited. It's a big thing. I'm like, yes. So, all right, but I am going to go to bed. I will see you beautiful people tomorrow. Have a wonderful night or a wonderful sleep. I'm tired. I got to clean tomorrow. But don't forget, order your candles, energycandles.com, ENERGIE. Check out my shorts of little puppy baby. And that's it. All right. I will see you beautiful people tomorrow. Have a wonderful night. Thank you guys for the super chats, PayPals, Cash Apps, everything in between. And that's it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful night. Mods, great job. Peace.